What's up, podcast? Welcome back to Inside K-Swiss. I'm your host, Omar Presswich. This week, my co-host is...
Mason Tompkins. We did it that time.
Yeah. For the viewers and listeners, this is actually the third take because I've already messed up a few different times, but this is the final one. So if I mess up, it is what it is. We're rolling.
Leave it in. Authenticity and transparency.
Authenticity, which we're going to talk a little bit about the new GaryVee shoe.
Yeah.
But welcome to the podcast for the first-time listeners. This is where we talk to you guys a little bit about what's going on at K-Swiss, what releases we have coming up, and this is really where you can get a detailed look and listen of the sneakers that we are about to launch that you might not even know or see until months after. So great opportunity to get to know us, the company culture, what we're about, and most importantly, the kicks.
I think it's really cool that we do this. On like another note, just like the fact that we even do this podcast, like bringing people inside the company, is just kind of crazy. Other people don't really do it.
That's true. And we don't just do it on this podcast, which is Inside K-Swiss, but we have two different podcasts where we interview a bunch of different people. So CEOs Wear Sneakers that originate, that's like the original K-Swiss podcast. The OG. Yes. Barney, our president, will interview top CEOs of different companies, and it's really informative and it's awesome because when you can learn from the best, why wouldn't you learn from the best?
It's true. And we've had some crazy people on that too, like David Heinemeier Hansen and freaking Gary was on it. Everybody.
Jordan Harbinger was on there.
Jordan's episode was really good too.
It is a really good episode. And then we have another podcast, which is called Turning Pro. I have to plug that. That's a podcast that I started because I know that there's a lot of people that listen, that we follow, that inspire us, that don't necessarily have a business per se, but they've been able to take their passion or something that they love and turn it into a career. And I think that's amazing. And they have their own story to share. And just as important as a CEO, you can learn from another guy that's crushing it that will inspire you to do the same thing.
Yeah, and I love how relevant that podcast is because I feel like we're in this interesting space now where, like, not too long ago, it was really, really hard to turn your passion into your profession. Whereas now it's like all the doors are open. You can do it if you want to, but still, not everyone has.
Exactly. And hopefully with these podcasts, you'll be able to learn how to do it. I know if I'm going to do any more plugs, Mason and I both have done that, where Mason, you were freelancing, doing photos and film.
Yep.
And now you are the head videographer for K-Swiss.
It's pretty sick.
Pretty awesome.
It's really cool when you say it like that.
Well, it's the truth. And then I was a fan of GaryVee, a fan of K-Swiss, freelancing, doing photos and social media. Next thing I know, I'm sitting here hosting the Inside K-Swiss podcast.
I think it's also cool that somehow Barney convinced freelancers and entrepreneurs to go internal at a company about entrepreneurs. Like maybe it was
you gotta have that entrepreneur spirit to work with a company that talks a lot about it. Yep. I think so, because I think when we talk about what entrepreneurship is and our muse and the people that we work with, we have to understand not only the language but also the culture behind it.
Yeah.
And if you don't understand what it takes, I think you don't understand the full message.
You don't know how to talk to them, you know? Because like a lot of having a job is just like you go and you apply, and once you're given the yes, you know, you get it from the gatekeeper, then you just kind of like do your job day in and day out. Where with entrepreneurship, it's like everything comes from you, and if you don't work, you don't eat.
Exactly.
It's a different mindset and approach.
And I feel that if you have that mentality, even within whatever company that you work at, meaning you have this hungry entrepreneur mentality, you'll always be wanting to push yourself to be your best and to level up, not only in your work and your profession, but to surround and build your community, which is your coworkers, to a higher, more positive level. Because when you want to grow and other people want to do the same, you all grow together.
And that is what Seth Godin calls a linchpin.
A linchpin?
A linchpin. A linchpin employee is like the person who puts forth a lot of effort and is like invaluable to the team and that kind of thing. It's like the upper end of being an employee.
Well, I think, dude, first of all, we do work at a footwear company, so
let's talk some footwear.
Let's talk footwear. No, but what I'm saying is it's awesome. I really believe that you can find positivity and something awesome wherever that you're at, whether that's the employees that you work with, whether that's your boss, whether that's the brand message, whatever it is, there's always something positive to look at wherever you're at. So,
And if there legitimately is not, get out.
GTFO. All right. So this week we just launched the long-awaited GaryVee 005, which is a big deal because if you know GaryVee, he's always throwing up the 5. 5 is his favorite number, and we finally released the cobalt blue GaryVee 005.
On the Classic 2000.
On the Classic 2000. This shoe was designed by our senior designer, MJ Kim, who specializes in tennis activewear, or not activewear, but performance tennis shoes. Exactly. Thanks, Mason.
You're welcome.
So he's the designer behind this, worked closely with Gary and the team. But Mason, tell me what your favorite things about the 05 are.
So, the biggest thing with this shoe is just all of the tiny little details that they put into it. First off, back here on the heel, we have this molded heel clip is what I want to say. I don't know if that's the proper term, but it's molded. It sticks out. You said actually quite eloquently. It's almost like a superhero emblem,
exactly,
which is interesting. It has this 3-dimensional whatever to it. Originally, it was just like a rubber bumper on the back. Wasn't a huge fan of that. But now they've made it this leather, so it's got a nice texture to it. It catches the light a lot differently. And it just it really feels like it belongs on the shoe now. And then also, I just love what MJ did with all of the different materialization. So we've got suede hits on the front and on the stripes. Or actually, I think the stripes are wool. That's interesting.
We have wool, suede, leather.
And then we've got perforated leather, and then on the toe box is this little almost patch over the front instead of having sort of a 3-piece toe like we do on normal classics. But I love all those little details. There's also stuff inside the shoe that you should definitely look at. I think I don't know if there's anything under
these. I don't think that there's a message underneath the
sock liner.
The sock liner.
Okay. Well, there's definitely stuff inside the shoe that you should look for, and of course, there's plenty of things on the outside.
Also, when you get your shoes, they come with something extra special. That's a bag that you can carry your shoes in, hold them, use them for whatever you need, but it says authenticity wins. And I was thinking a lot about this yesterday, and I told you this morning, Mason, about what authenticity, at least to me, means. And that's just always being true to yourself no matter what, in all situations, because everyone is on their own journey, and that's one of my favorite things about the GaryVee sneakers and the entrepreneur line is when you wear sneakers that have a meaning to it, it just kind of puts you in this amazing mindset to always do what's best for you. And so the fact that the bag of these sneakers says authenticity wins, it just reminded me of my personal journey of following Gary's philosophy for almost a decade and what payoff that has done because I've been authentic to myself.
Yeah, and I think there's another piece to authenticity which is really important here, which is history. A lot of being authentic, if today I go start a company and I start just running around being I'm a businessman and I'm going to do whatever, that's not authentic, even though it is sort of my truth at the moment. Whereas when we're talking about authenticity here, this shoe's on the Classic 2000. This is still our best-selling shoe model in the history of the company. And so there's that. There's authenticity behind the messages that Gary is talking about and what the message of the shoe is. And so I think that history and that heritage to the storytelling is also a huge, important aspect that I think is also very unique to K-Swiss.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. And even adding on a couple more details on the shoe that I really love is all the ways that V is used throughout the shoe. V meaning the Roman numeral 5, V being GaryVee's favorite number, and the V's throughout the shoe. So on the toe box, I don't know if you noticed this, Mason, but this was actually designed after a V. The top
I didn't see that piece,
shoe,
yeah.
The top toe box, the first little stitch that holds the shoelaces is a V itself. You have the 05 and Gary's signature on the tongue. On the back, which is the GaryVee shield, is a big V. And when you put the shoes together, it says GV for Gary Mother Flippin' V. I'm trying to say less F-bombs because I get rolling on those, and I'm sure one or two people are offended.
I think flipping is better. So good job.
And, speaking of flipping, the pink coral colorway of these, which was released on ComplexCon, if you haven't bought them, good luck. Go on StockX. They're worth like $300+ now.
That was a sick colorway. I love that it was on a black bottom too with those coral accents.
Yep.
Like it just made it like subtle, but like it's hard.
It's a collectible piece for sure, and part of what makes it collectible is this attached luggage tag design, which is made out of premium leather. The 05 one that you see here, this cobalt blue, has a collectible card piece in it. The pink colorway has individually numbered cards.
I know.
So I have 50 and 51.
And they're like made out of like steel too.
Yeah.
They're really sick.
These are just a collectible piece. I know a lot of you on Instagram, I see those comments. A few of you have said that it's whack. That's because you haven't seen it in real life. But if you don't like it, NBD, just cut it off.
Yep.
And
I actually think it's pretty cool. And I think it's something that, especially if like we had it on a classic and you could get like different inserts or even like a personalized insert, like just the ways that this thing could go is really interesting.
Put it this way. If you had these shoes and you still had this and you saw GaryVee and you're like, yo, will you sign these? What if you took the little card out and you had him sign it? And that's, what makes it extra special.
Yep. Or what if you could buy a signed card to put in them?
There you go. It's up to you.
That too.
So GaryVee 05 out now. It's badass. I recommend it. Buy 2 pairs or 3 because it's Christmas, and you all know someone that loves GaryVee that could definitely use a pair of GaryVee sneakers.
Dude, my mom loves Gary. I low-key, I'll be like watching a video of his or something, and I'll scroll through the comments real quick, and my mom's on there like, I love you so much.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I won't. Yes, I wish my parents would get on and listen to him, but that's a whole nother topic.
Change your life.
All right, so the next thing that we want to talk to you listeners and viewers about is the Batman release that we just did. So
Omar, I have a suggestion.
Yes.
I think that you should do your best I'm Batman for the podcast listeners.
I only have one take at this, so
Go for it. Whew. We're waiting.
rock, paper, scissors, who goes first, you or me?
No, it's you first.
All right. I'm Batman.
Okay. Cool. So moving on.
The reason why he's asking me to do that is because Mason is currently editing the brand new Inside Case Was vlog.
Yeah. And so we got footage from a videographer on that went on Saturday. I went and got some footage on Friday at DesignerCon. But the videographer on Saturday had people, and I think it's a great idea, stand in front of the bat suit and then just say like, I'm Batman to the camera. And it was just really funny because like some of them went way over the top, and it's just like, I don't know, it's just really hilarious.
All right, let's hear yours.
Do what?
Let's hear yours. I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
Weak. You didn't even try.
That was a little bit of a cop out.
Just try it.
Okay. I'm Batman.
Well, he does kind of look like the potential Edward Batman a little bit. Anyway.
Drop a few pounds, maybe I'll get that kind of face. Anyways, to the shoes.
So yes, we did drop the 1989 Batman and also the Batman and Robin. The pack, which we'll talk about. We dropped them at DesignerCon last week. The shoes actually go on sale Friday, Black Friday, and kswiss.com. You'll see it. Super limited. There's only 300 pairs of each.
They're gonna go fast.
They're definitely gonna go fast. And I'll talk about Batman. You can talk about Robin. Okay. And talk about some of the pieces. Like I said, this is our third take because I blotched the other ones. So I can't do my earring bit anymore, but the shoes themselves are awesome. This is the 1966 Batman Adam West shoe. It's not an Adam West shoe, but he is the guy. And Batman's my favorite character. Who hasn't seen, or recognized the old school logo, the music, all the...
Man, I remember watching the show like when I was like 4. So I kind of grew up on like the Joel Schumacher Batmans.
Okay.
But I remember watching the show before that even came out, and I was like super into it. And
holy cow, Mason.
Yeah.
Which, holy cow, Mason, tell us about the Robin shoe.
Well, so first off, I just want to say, like, these are really fun because that story about me watching the show when I was super, super young, like 4 years old. And then also the fact that the Batman shoe is on the Classic 66, which is probably my favorite shoe model that we make. It's my favorite to wear. I've got it on right now. And the show came out in 1966, the same year that this shoe came out, the same year that K-Swiss was founded, which that's just fun facts. It's cool. But the other piece of it is Robin was always my favorite character between the two. I've always loved all the Batman movies and TV shows and stuff like that. But anytime there's Robin, I've always just like connected with Robin a little bit more. And the Robin shoe is on the Surf and Turf. But yeah, and then you want to talk about the logos?
Yeah, so the logos, as everyone knows, the Batman logo is so iconic. It's when you see it, and it's very dominant on Batman, where it's on his chest. And Robin is equally as iconic, but his is not on his chest; it's on the side. So John Tang, shout out John Tang, the designer and mastermind behind these sneakers, took paid attention and details to everything and put Robin's logo on the side. Even the whole entire sneaker is essentially designed after the suit. So where the Robin sneaker on the Surf and Turf is on this really awesome canvas, the Batman sneaker, Classic 66, is on this beautiful suede. The inside of the sneakers has a really beautiful satin that's designed after both Batman and Robin's capes, which I think is really, really awesome. And then for the viewers, on the inside of the sneakers, you actually get the Batman and Robin.
It's like a printed graphic on the insole.
Yeah,
which is really sick. It's cool. It's a nice detail to have in there.
Even like the shoelaces, right? So the tips of the shoelaces have the logo, where Robin has the Robin logo, Batman has the Batman logo, and each of the sneakers, both the Surf and Turf, the Classic 66 and the Classic 2000, have their own batarangs.
Yep. And we've talked about this before, but just the level of detail that we go into on these collaboration pieces is, it's collectible grade, it's worthy of that, because there's so many tiny details that just bring the shoe together and show that like there was real care put into the design. Exactly.
And Barney always talks about this, but these collaborations or these drops are what we call sparks. Mm-hmm. What does it take to start a fire? You spark one after another. And I think this year more than ever, John Tang and the whole team has really nailed it. Clueless, Ghostbusters, Breaking Bad, Batman and Robin.
They've also just given us a lot of fun stuff to play with.
I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. The events have been great. The shoots have been awesome. But more importantly, I think it's awesome seeing you guys actually wear the shoes and get the shoes, because we are designing these essentially for you.
100%.
So that's what is going on right now. These will go live on Black Friday. There's also a little sale going on. You won't be able to, these won't be on sale, but...
Well, if they spend $100 though, they get a free beanie.
There you go.
I made that graphic today. I animated that graphic.
I made that graphic today. Yeah, we have some fun stuff in the works. Since Inside K-Swiss, the podcast gives the listeners a little bit of an extra sneak peek or listen, we have 3 last drops of this year that I think are pretty badass.
Oh, yeah.
Number 1, I'm just going to say them. Hopefully I don't get in trouble. We have the Little Jupiter drop, Finally,
I'm excited for
little
that one.
Jupiter's back.
I might get this pair. They're really
Good luck getting that
really
pair,
cool.
dog, because last time they sold out in 3 seconds.
I know, it's the bots, man. The bots got us last time.
Well, the bots hopefully won't get us this time, and hopefully you do get a pair. But for the listeners and viewer, the little Jupiter's out of this world, legitimately. No pun intended. And then so we have that coming up. Then what's the next one after that?
I actually don't know.
Angry Birds.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't talked about that too much, but we have a special collaboration with Angry Birds. I believe it's only little kid sizes. There might be some adult sizes, but that's going to drop mid-December, towards late December, and that's going to be insane.
It's pretty sick. And Santi's super happy too because he's from Finland.
Yeah.
And Rovio's a Finnish company, so it's kind of a whole little thing.
Naturally, right? And then the last collaboration of the year, which we've never talked about.
Are you sure we can talk about this? I'm really not sure.
Can I just give a hint? I'm asking you like you would know. But all I'm going to say is the last collaboration of this year is a very iconic movie where you have a red pill and a blue pill. That's all I'm going to say.
And the shoe's dope.
And the shoes are dope.
It's really sick.
So that's what's going on at K-Swiss. We've had a lot of fun this year. It's Thanksgiving week, so we're going to take a break. We will be back next week, but from me, Mason, the whole entire team, to the listeners and viewers, we just want to express our sincere gratitude for you, for all the attention you give us, for all the love. You guys are part of our family, our community, and we hope you have an awesome Thanksgiving.
I can't say anything else.
All right, well, with that, we'll wrap it up and have an awesome holiday break. We'll catch you next week. Bye. Peace.